Hi guys, this is Daniel Alexander Cannon here on the Supernatural Show, and I've given myself an echo somehow. So I'm trying to fix that. Okay, now it's on my side. I got it straightened now. Welcome everybody. As you can see me a little bit today. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to leave the video running because there's a lag. Like if I count 1, 2, 3, as you can see, having problems still. We've got to be patient and wait on the day that will come where we'll get a new higher end PC to run the studio with, because right now I'm running it off of 2 high end PCs, but they're older, like 5 to 8 years old between the two of them. But hey, we got a pretty cool show to do today, to talk some things to talk about. And what we're going to start doing, just to inform y'all guys, because that's how we do things around here, is to let you know we're changing the format, trying to improve it when it comes to the Supernatural show itself. And what that means is that when we have other network members like the Roxy Files and like the Children of the Most High and a number of other ones that are coming in the very near future, we will have the show broken into segments, meaning that we'll open the show and then we're going to go to one co-host or guest or network member and have them discuss, and we'll discuss, all of us together, discuss whatever it is they're currently working on in their work. And in today's situation, Roxy and I think also Shannon, Roxy with the Roxy Files on YouTube and Shannon with the Children of the Most High on YouTube, they are going to be talking about, what's the name of it again? Your Pluribus? Roxy? Hello?
Pluribus.
She's in the chat again. I've lost
She's no, I can hear her. It's just a little fuzzy. She's got the snowstorm going on.
I'm going to turn my camera off, guys,
Pluribus.
So that way it will help in case we're having technical problems with this. So let me turn.
I can hear you, but it does say your mute is on.
So that way,
like on the camera part.
Now, how is it that I could hear and was talking to Roxy just a moment ago as we were going live, and now all of a sudden I can't hear her? Oh, wait a minute.
And I can hear her.
Again, I got too many buttons over here. So
it's showing it's mute on her.
My ears muted. Now I'm sure I'll be able to hear Roxy. Yes. See, that's what happens when you don't push the wrong buttons, Roxy. But I like pushing the wrong buttons occasionally. But yeah. Anyways, so yeah, what was the name of it? Your Pluribus or something like that?
Just Pluribus.
Pluribus, yes. Pluribus.
Yes.
Exactly. And we're going to be talking about what they're doing. And if you want to, because we're not going to go over everything on here today, and plus this is kind of like a project they're starting. I think they're decoding the entire series. And so there's going to be a lot there, I'm sure. And you may wonder why decode a television show. It's because the enemy actually likes to tell us what they're going to do. Just like with 9/11.
They're bound by oath.
Yeah, they have to tell us because they believe that removes the blood from their hands, and that because we're too ignorant to figure it out and stay out of the way of it, that it's our own fault. That's how they roll, you might say. into the show that you're talking about? Pluribus?
Yep.
Okay. I see. Well, we're going to take a look at it. Not even, we could, well, no, we probably can't play a trailer because it'd be copyrighted. We could play like a couple of seconds. Yeah, so here's Pluribus. And for those of you that aren't familiar with where that word comes from, it actually comes, well, not, this isn't where it comes from, but we've all seen it before. And it's right on the money.
For some reason, no one can still hear Roxy.
For some reason, no one can. Oh, I hear you.
But like I said, it's showing that there's a mute button like on her end somehow.
All right. So go ahead, Shannon, and kind of explain the Pluribus thing a little bit, and I'll get Roxy fixed.
So what Roxy was saying is that her and I are constantly like, hey, what are you watching? Trying to get on the same page and understanding what we're, down the rabbit hole with at the time. And I had suggested to her that Andy and I have been watching this show Pluribus. It's on Apple TV. I know a lot of people don't have it. I actually got, of course, a subscription just for this show because I was told by a client of mine who I never would have thought to watch this. She was mentioning that she stayed up all night, like tripped out on this new show. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And so I ended up getting Andy and Roxy strung up on this show. But literally,
strung out is more like it.
Oh my gosh. It's like, so as Roxy was mentioning, every single show, it just leaves your jaw open like crazy because you're just dumbfounded at how much they are disclosing in your face. Like it's absolutely insane, but you are bound by oath in these brotherhoods to say these things, to give your silent consent to this kind of behavior. But what's very fascinating about this show specifically, right, is that the writer and director of Breaking Bad and, Better Call Saul and all of that, and he also actually co-wrote on the X-Files, is the writer and director of this show. So you know that there's a lot of disclosure already, but the way it is presented is just so absolutely interesting. Like one of the things that gets me is that, how do I put it without giving away too much? It's like telling you to your face how they entice you into thinking that this hive mind and joining is somehow magical and beautiful and all love and everything is just, it feels amazing, and the few who are left behind who cannot be a part of the joining, most of them are like, why can't I be a part of this? Where there's just a few characters who are like, heck no, I'm not doing this.
We gotta save the world.
We gotta save the world. Yep. Can you guys hear Roxy yet?
Yes. Yeah, I think Dave said he could hear him.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, fixed her.
Okay, Roxy.
She switched to an old link because she's on her iPad, so the old link works, but I didn't have it plugged into the studio. but that's fine.
Oh.
So,
Well, the first thing you see when this show comes on is you see these scientists at a radio telescope center, kind of like in Contact. Imagine that. And they hear a signal from outer space, and it's a consistent signal. And they start figuring out that, this is a message. Well, then they figure out that it's actually the recipe for a virus. Imagine that. There's something in outer space sending a signal that's causing a virus. This virus, and we don't want to give too much away because we're going to break this down as we all go through it, but it causes 99.9% of the world to become a hive mind. Everybody knows everything about everybody else. Like in this show, she is sitting there having a conversation with one of them, and she asked a question of knowledge that her cousin when she was a child would have had, and that person just kind of like sits there for like a millisecond, gets quiet, and in her brain access the memories of this other stranger from across the world. It's a complete and total hive mind. They refer to themselves as we. It's not I or me. There's no I am. It's all we.
Be tied to the loss of identity, how people they push that on us.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Well, if you check out if you could pause maybe on the title, you know how obsessive I get over like hidden
title
things. Yeah, right here, the Pluribus. I just wanted to point out how they spell it. Okay. So you see the one in between the R and the B, which quote unquote rib, right? Which is where Eve was taken from, Adam's rib, right? It's a one.
His rib is in his ribeye, rabbi, which is part of the DNA. When you look at the words for DNA, it's rabbi. It means the master code. Right. It was the code that was taken, in my opinion. But go ahead.
It's already, it's okay. It's already showing you this is about DNA, about genetics. But you see that there's a one instead of an I. And pluribus means many. On your dollar bill, it says, out of one in I can't remember the exact way, but it's, e pluribus unum.
We were looking at it.
Right, e pluribus unum.
Out of many, one.
One, right. So that it's literally showing you that exact e pluribus unum in that title without giving you the e in the unum by adding in the one in the middle. So out of many into one. And if you're kind of maybe now catching on to where this is all going with this hive mind thing. So out of many, they all become one. You see what I'm saying? So I just thought I'd point that out in the actual title, because it's literally written right there in your face in code.
You remember the show we did, let's say a month or two ago, and we were talking about the panspermia?
Yep.
Remember they said it would be a virus that comes from space, and he was in Avi Loeb's article, his report, his scientific Harvard-based report, he was talking about that he thought or was theorizing that 3-Eye Atlas may leave a trail of something in the air that comes down on the earth, right? And then also, you remember about 3 or 4 months before that, we were doing videos, and this is to you and Roxy too, but we were doing videos or shows, and we were talking about, we were reading about the comets, and one of the comets said that that the earth was supposedly going to pass through the tail of the comet dust. or the spermia, you might say. And you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got a whole nother kicker for you. I don't go to Ingersoll Lockwood nearly as much as I used to, as frequently.
Mm-hmm.
It hadn't been in a while, so I decided to jump over there the other day. And the rabbit on the bottom, that's always an alternating link. It's been rest in peace CK for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, it just happened to go over. And the new White Rabbit link takes you to Canadian documents on something called adenovirus, ADENOVIRUS. And it explains to you how they use that as the carrier in vaccines to make it do what it does.
Mm.
And these are dated, what did we discover, Shannon? 2004? I don't know where Shannon went. She's muted. We were,
I'm here.
what was it on the adenovirus? Oh, that's right. I saw you. My bad. My bad, girl. I forget. Anyway, the adenovirus stuff we were looking at off of Ingersoll. What was that, 2004?
I think so.
Yeah, this stuff was, this is old, and it's like putting it right in your face. Well, then there's one other link below it. That link takes you to a document that tells you, medical document, National Institutes of Health have written this document, that the way to kill the adenovirus, would you like to take a guess what it is, Daniel?
The way to kill the
Adenovirus. How to get rid of it.
Probably has something to do with a needle.
No. I'm talking about a good way, our way.
Oh.
Does it rhyme with pectin at the end?
It does.
Does it really?
Ivermectin.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's the new Ingersoll links. It's one to a Canadian document that explains the adenovirus and how they use it as a carrier to spread things. And the second link takes you to a document on how ivermectin is the kill shot for it.
Imagine that.
Imagine that.
They do have to tell us the truth.
Yeah.
And if you just happen to catch it, because my mind goes back and forth about the mectin stuff, and but from a results standpoint because I have used some and Miss Kim has used some, the results were no negative to be seen and positive for sure. And I remember the first time I ever heard it, they were telling everybody, it was right at the beginning of the pandemic, and they were telling everybody, you got to get it, And they, under their breath, almost mentioned the word, and Mr. T said it. He said, well, I'm taking this and doing this, and ivermectin. And then they just kept running. They just went right on, skipped on, and kept going. Now they mention it more often for some reason. I don't know. It's like, when you're dealing with pathological liars, it's really hard to figure out what's going on sometimes. It is. But getting back to the main subject, go ahead.
Well, that's one of the reasons when I have different sources that I look to for information that lean in all different directions, because you can't just look at one direction when you're, you know what I mean? You got to look at more than one point of view.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's one of the reasons I watch the Ingersoll Lockwood, because if I see something on there and we're looking at something else and they directly correlate with each other, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, well, there might be something to this.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You said something earlier too, Roxy. You mentioned about a quad signal. Explain that.
When this show first comes on, like the image you see right there with all of the satellites, you see a bunch of scientists at one of those stations, kind of like the movie Contact. Imagine that. They're at the radio station and they start a signal. And this signal is a repeated signal that's coming in, and it shows you the scientist, and they go through it, and the crowd comes in, and they figure out that it's actually, what's it called, Shannon? A quad. It's quad something.
I don't
Probably right
remember
here
the
in what I've
exact
got pulled
term.
up. It says quad signal. It says
That it's
because 3i Atlas, as you know, has now been said to have transmitted a quad signal in the last 30 days.
imagine that.
Imagine
3i
that.
Atlas quad signal refers to a mysterious radio signals detected from the interstellar comet 3i Atlas in late 2025.
Okay, well, this quad signal is 4 signals merged into one. When they separate the 4 signals, it is the 4 components to make said virus.
Uh-huh.
So then they get these scientists at a lab screwing around with rats to figure out what this virus is, and there was no change. And when they went in to gas said rats, rat bit scientist virus spread. 99.9% of the world was of a hive mind instantly.
And if their bodies didn't survive the joining, they still ended up joining, even though their physical body was no longer
when the heart was
available.
beating anyway. Yeah.
So think about that, okay? That in itself. Now, so there's something I'd really like to point out, okay? Without giving away too much, and because we're going to go way more in depth on many episodes, I'm sure, of our shows. But when you notice that everybody who is part of the joining, they all consistently are just acting like it's the best thing in the world. Like they just feel amazing.
They're NPCs.
Right? But it's like everyone in the world can do anything and everything that the others could do. So like you just automatically know how to perform surgery, or you just automatically know how to fly a plane, or you just automatically have like all of these things.
Sounds like the Matrix.
So it makes it seem enticing, like you just have all the knowledge and capability in the world. But as you kind of find out slowly but surely, there's no love there. There's no true emotion or capability of remembering something that makes like you as the individual happy, or any of those kinds of things. It's like the love is completely gone, but they make you think that this
they all
is
seem
love.
like walking AI to me.
Right, like a bunch of NPCs.
Yeah. I see when we're watching this show, there's only a couple of characters that have not joined. For some reason, there is a specific number of 13 people who did not join. And they make a point of saying that 12 of them can communicate, but one has not communicated. They've kind of like sequestered themselves. There's something to that, Shannon. Just by the way, I haven't added that to our note. But, and it's wild. And it's like a wild ride. And it's a good show, but it's like A to B, top to bottom. Almost every single moment of it is disclosure, not only for the future, but for the past. I mean, I've found so many biblical markings in this show already that it's crazy.
If you think about what they're trying to do with uploading our consciousness into the cloud and all of that, that's basically the same concept of us all being part of a hive mind. But in this concept, which, by the way, this signal that they picked up on, they mention has more than likely been going on for thousands of years, but we just now have picked it up and can hear it and decipher it.
I mean, it gives you a particular frequency that it's being broadcast on, too. We need to put that in notes. And anybody who's listening to this, if you watch the show, please come and watch this decode so we can all sit down and talk about it, because we are like, there's so much in here. I'm not promoting any show to go spend your money on to watch, but it's something else.
Did they mention in the show you were talking about how they were talking about the different elements in order to create this virus? You remember yet if they've mentioned the words hydroxyl molecules?
I'm pretty sure they did. I'll go back and find it.
Because they're saying that as part of 3i Atlas is saying the interaction of hydroxyl molecules is putting off this signal. And I find that a little curiously, I mean, we just pulled this up and said, you mentioned the words, great minds think alike. You mentioned the words quad signal, and I knew that what Avi Loeb had said about the panspermia, coming and doing something to the world. And I thought, well, if they're telling us and it's tied to this and this is part of their story, it'll be tied to 3i Atlas. So I typed in 3i Atlas quad signal and bam, there it goes. And so I'm betting that hydroxyl molecules is going to come into the script somewhere. Highly likely.
Well, we are keeping an iNote, and I think I might figure out a way, Shannon, for us to put up a community board so that the viewers that want to go through this with us, we can, like, on our community boards.
You can do that on the
we
website.
Kind of have like a Discord.
You can do it on the website using or that. Yeah. And you could probably embed that too on the website, but yeah.
Well, that's all you, because I'm not that guy.
I know. You just keep reading, baby, and then we'll discuss it. How about that?
You keep decoding.
As if Shannon and I needed another reason to stay on the phone half the day.
So this is Avi Loeb's website release. This is the main guy that keeps talking about, he's the Harvard dude that keeps talking about like panspermia and 3i Atlas and aliens and all this kind of absolute nonsense. But I'm looking to see what he is saying about it here. Y'all guys talk for a minute and I'll read and I'll see what's here and interject if I see something very interesting.
Shannon, we need to make a side note to go back and find out what those 4 components were on that. Shannon and I have a side text message going on, everybody, with other people, but quad equals quantum, so that would mean quantum physics.
Cube also.
Which would there's
Q,
a lot to that.
The Q word, the Q thing, the cube that they worship in different countries around the world. Quad, that's all tied and related. And it also would be tied to even time squared, mathematical quad kind of thing.
Okay, hang on right there, radio frequencies. Hang on, that's important. I know it's important. I got to write that down so don't lose that, because that's show related. I'm pretty sure that's the frequency they say it's coming in on in the show.
Really?
Well, or something very similar.
That's what I'm figuring we're going to find in this. It says talking about the hydroxyl absorption signal was detected in 2 spectral lines at radio frequencies of 1.665 and 1.667, and of course 1.666 is right in the middle. The two lines revealed absorption at Doppler velocity shifts of negative 15.59 plus or minus 0.16. They love putting their little mathematical things on here to make themselves sound like they know something. Let's see here. What else I see? I don't even know what to say. Did you get that yet, Roxy? Did you get that yet?
Well, I got it. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I was writing it down, and then I went back to chat because Hey, everybody. The chat's going off over there, and we got a side message going on. We got a lot.
Yeah, what's happening, Diana? I see her in the chat. Of course,
Mm-hmm.
Super
So
Dave and
just seen her
Super
pop
Mike.
in.
And I see Diana's in there burning it up.
Yeah, she just come in the room. About
Skywalker's in
time. I
there.
ain't seen her in a
Daryl's
minute.
in there. Daryl Calhoun, what's up, Daryl? Anonymous
Yeah.
Legion.
Navy Ops.
Yep, Navy Ops is in there. I've got a new thing on my OBS Studio thing where I can actually, I have the chat embedded right into my screen that's in the studio now. It's kind of cool. And I can go back and forth through it. Nice. All right, back to what I'm reading here. Let's see, go ahead.
I'm out of sorts today because I'm on a iPad and AirPods and a cell phone, and I'm trying to read chat off of the cell phone, which is extremely small, by the way, and carry on a side chat message with Shannon and another friend. And yeah, you still there, Shannon? Or are you back on mute?
I am here. I
I'm
am
talking too
just
much.
taking in everything.
Well, we're going to decode this, guys, and we're going to start a community board somewhere to discuss it, because this, everything we're talking about right now, this is like the first 6 minutes of the show. And from there, it just kind of expands and expands. And it's one of those shows that, because we can, all of us, you wouldn't be here if you weren't somebody that saw through the veil. You see through the lies and all of that. And because of that, when you turn this show off, you will sit there and think, and it's like you just, oh my gosh, it was like they're just laying it out, like boom, they're saying the quiet parts out loud. I don't know.
I
Right, I
believe
got you,
this.
Skywalker.
That's
See,
kind
I
of seems to be the way they're
believe.
doing it all right now. Is they're literally just pouring it all out on the table, but they're weaponizing it. Is still what I would say.
Right. I believe that this is going to be occurring very soon, and they have to, of course, show you it is imperative. But they're nonstop. It's like they're not even trying to be subtle about anything anymore, which just tells you that, time is short, and all this predictive programming, it's there for a reason. And either you can give your silent consent, or you can say, no, I choose my master as the Lord and Savior of, everything, the creator of all, our Father God, instead of all this ridiculous evil. I mean, they're just pushing it so hard.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
big
I mean
time.
the numbers in these shows are very particular, and they're lining up with other things, and it's just kind of, we watched it. I've watched the whole season. I'm disappointed that there's no more episodes. I'm ready for it to come back. But how long has it been out, Shannon? When did it start?
It just started like, oh gosh, in November. It was like the beginning of November, I think.
I think this is going to tie back to you guys also with the research you're doing. Is that they're saying there was a signal, and we've talked about this briefly one time before, called the WOW signal from 1977 at a frequency of 1.4204556 gigahertz. And let's see, let me open up this other page related to it. That they're claiming that they think it comes from 3i Atlas that was heading in this way in 1977. I mean, boy, you talking about build up a dream of lies. Yeah. Anyways, and this is however this somehow is going to relate to what y'all guys are doing. I got a feeling that it will tie back, just like the quad thing tied to this, because they're painting a picture for someone with brains to be able to see what it is. But
Well, and I've had something that, I don't know. It's kind of, one of those little things that's like scratching in your brain, scratching in your brain. Like, why is this bothering me? It's
Mm-hmm.
the actual term, like hive mind, because I ran across this thing a while back, and it's a town called Racine, Wisconsin, and the town changed their logo to a beehive, which has nothing to do with them. And there's a company there that very, very, their facility looks a lot like a other movie that we watched. And Shannon and I can never remember the name of it, but it's the Umbrella Corporation in
I
the
know
movie.
this one slips, and it's also like a huge video game that
Yeah.
most people. And I always want to say Silent Hill, but it's not that one. It's
No. It's even got
oh,
Alice in it. The
mhm.
AI.
It's
Why does something fight us so hard on this movie, Shannon?
If Andy were right here, he'd tell me.
I'm
Because
sure
your
somebody.
brains, you've learned so much in the last years that your brains are just flooded with.
Resident Evil.
Resident Evil.
Oh.
That's it.
Why can we never spit that out? I can see it, but I can't say it. But yeah, there's a company located in Racine. Their facility looks a lot like that movie set of the Umbrella Corporation. And it's very interesting, the whole beehive, hive mind. I've heard some people talk about a lot of bee chatter online. I mean, this rabbit hole is intentionally huge, but I think this movie was the centerpiece for me in putting a lot of these other pieces together. I don't know. It's that big cork board in the back of my head with all the red strings on it, Shannon.
Yep.
I'm just looking through some more of the related stuff. They said the wow signal supposedly came from the area of the sky called, Sagittarius. And don't know for sure how that's going to play in or play out or anything
You know
else.
what I
But
just thought about? We only think about looking at the stars. And I know this is crazy and off topic, but you're looking at stars. So go back to one of those where it's an actual picture, the one that had the lines drawn on it, Sagittarius.
like that or this one.
Right there. Okay. We see that as a one dimensional
Mm,
piece of paper with lines drawn on it
yeah,
that
but it's
makes
not.
no. Think about that as a three-dimensional object and what that would mean that object would look like.
Or three-dimensional image, yeah.
Yeah.
Not a
Like,
physical object, but a three-dimensional sign or something like that, yeah.
yeah, I don't think we're looking at those with
Well, they're
enough
claiming it
dimensions.
looks like this. That's what Sagittarius, of course, right next to Scorpio. And the interesting thing about that is because that is considered to be the, how can I say it? Well, there are 2 points in the sky. One is in Orion, and one is right in between. It's right where Sagittarius or Cupid's arrow is pointed, so right over here, and where Scorpio's tail comes at right over here, and that's considered to be an eye point in the sky. You have two of them. One of them is again in. Now my brain ain't
Okay.
working.
I have a question.
Yeah.
This is a Roxy question, and I'm sorry, but I have to ask it. Who drew that picture? Okay, like I'm saying, we're looking at it as a one-dimensional object when maybe we should be looking at it as more dimensions. Somebody drew that picture of that dude with an arrow drew back.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? I keep having this thought in my head about the unicorn. We think we know what a unicorn looks like because when I say unicorn, picture it in your brain. You see a white horse with white hair with a sparkly horn hanging out of his head. If you're a girl, I don't know what boys think, but most girls, that's what we're taught to think. We think of Lisa Frank coloring books. So your concept of what you see that is because of the drawings, the artistic part of it that's been put on top of it. You see, does that make sense? Do you see what I'm saying?
Go through it again. So let me listen really close. Go ahead.
Okay. If I ask you right now, I want you to picture a unicorn and describe it to me. What do you see?
You want me to describe it?
Yes, I want you to describe it.
Well,
What do you see?
I would say, okay, well, assuming we can use references that we're all familiar with, like, okay, it looks like a horse. It has the body of a horse proportionally, and the unicorn, unlike a horse doesn't have horns. Of course, you have other animals similar, like elk and bulls and all kind of things that have horns, but they have two sets of horns. But in the case of the unicorn, it has supposedly got one unihorn.
Right. So you see a horse with a horn.
Yeah, in short.
Okay. Everything you were ever shown as a child in a cartoon, in a movie, in a storybook that said unicorn and had a picture, that's the image you saw, correct?
Right.
Who decided that's what a unicorn looked like? Who said that?
Who knows?
Who said a dinosaur was green? Right? Okay. If a unicorn is a mythical creature,
Who said
they
green
have no
is green?
Correct. But what I'm saying, who decided to put this artwork on top of that constellation? Who decided that that's what it is? What if that's, I don't know how to explain
Copernicus? I don't know. I'm not sure where it came from. I know it's from the Cult Hidden Mysteries, kind of school kind of stuff. And because certainly they, just like you said earlier, they look at the constellations as three-dimensional or maybe higher dimensional than that images. Certainly it's not two-dimensional, which is what this image that you're seeing here, this is just two-dimensional. Even though it looks kind of 3D-ish because of the way they drew it, it's really, you only got height and width. There is no depth. But they certainly look at the heavens at least as a three-dimensional, because it is. There is depth. It's not depth like they say, like space, at least in my opinion. But it's there's depth, of course.
But that's what I'm saying about a lot of things.
You dropped out. Where'd your mic go?
Hear me?
Barely. It's like your mic somehow got unplugged or something.
Off. So we're back to the manual. I'll say this and then I'll go because my mic just died. The thing being, I'm just trying to be careful about what our assumption of what we're seeing in. If we're looking at it through somebody else's concept of a visual. Does that make sense?
Kind of. Although you are pretty low in volume, I've tried to amplify you as much as I can. Say that one more time.
We have to be careful at what we're seeing when we look at these things, especially if it's a drawing of somebody else's concepts.
Right.
My mic died. I'll step out and y'all have at it. I'll be in chat.
Okay. All right, Roxy. Yeah, her battery died in her mic, so but I was able to turn you up there for for your last little statement there, so everybody got to hear what you said. We got to be careful about believing anything that Dave told us this is what it is, especially when it comes to the heavens and all of this. You really have to stop yourself and ponder and think about these things very much in depth, I would say. Let's see if Roxy's out, then I'll turn her mic resources off so that way it doesn't eat up the rest of what we got any longer. So, okay. All right. So, Shannon, when are y'all guys going to be kind of are y'all guys already, have you released any content related to this stuff? Pluribus or Pluribus?
We have briefly spoken about it yesterday on my show.
When do you think y'all guys will start putting out your first videos on that?
More than likely Tuesday.
More than likely Tuesday. Okay. So if y'all guys want to go down that rabbit hole with Roxy on the Roxy Files YouTube channel, and I think she's also on Rumble and probably somewhere else as well. Oh, and also with Shannon on the Children of the Most High on YouTube. That's what you need to do, is go over to their channels and make sure you're subscribed for one, and they'll be putting out that content, digging further down this rabbit hole. And personally, I would say it's worth the follow and to dig down that rabbit hole. And we'll have them give us an update when they do their spots here on the Supernatural Show in the coming days and weeks and stuff, and see what they're doing. But the majority of the actual content where they can show you things, because y'all guys can only see what I show you here, but they can show you things and talk to you about things the way they do it. Daphne and what's the other girl's name on Scooby-Doo?
Velma.
Velma. Yeah, Daphne and Velma. That's about what they act like, I guess, on this show. They have a good time and also dig for the truth, and there ain't nothing wrong with that. So I think I was thinking about looking at the fireworks stuff, but I think this has actually been a really good show just the way it sits. So I think I'm just going to leave that the way it is and kind of wrap it up here, I think, at this point. Shannon, any final things you would like to share with the audience?
Just wanted to let everyone know that we did get the winners all, figured out from our little giveaway that we did for the month of December.
Okay.
For new subscriptions. And I wanted to thank everyone who subscribed to the Roxy Files and Children of the Most High this last month. Wait, just so I got the pictures of the winners. I wanted to say thank you to Sarah Wyckoff, Sand Grady, and God is My Banner. You guys are the winners. I hope you guys contact me. My email is up on a post on my channel. Or you can email Roxy. Yeah.
Okay.
And that way you guys can claim your awesome prize.
Okay. Very cool. So guys, I think we'll kind of leave it at that, because that was a pretty good little dive into Pluribus and how it ties to what they're saying about there's going to be some, and me and Shannon's been talking about this literally probably for longer than a year, about the threat of a virus supposedly coming from outer space, an alien virus. And we've been warning you for at least a year, if it ain't quite a bit much more than that. But we're going to stay on the watch and continue to do what we do. We do need y'all guys' support. I'm hoping and I'm asking that y'all guys get involved one way or another in supporting, whether it be this show or some other show where you're able to support the truth, the real truth, okay? And I'm asking for your support, but I also know there may be others out there that need that. I'm sure there are. But you can do that by going on the website and becoming a brick, block, or cornerstone holder, which simply means that you're donating like $10 a month as a brick, or the block is $35 a month, or the cornerstone is $100 a month. And that money allows us to simply operate, okay, and keep the show up and going, keep the lights on, the internet bill paid, because in my case, this is the only thing I do. But then also, additionally, we've got, like I've kind of hinted at, we've got more network members, because part of the whole scenario of the body of Christ, the building of that, which is what the symbolic blocks and cornerstones and stuff is related to, is having more people join together and work together as a network, because, like a network within YouTube and within Rumble, all of us coming together and cross promoting, so that way we all, because I have a hard time kind of even finding legitimate truth channels these days. There's just so much of a flood of weaponized truth that it's very hard to find it. And we're trying to put together a network of true, honest, God-fearing people who are trying to speak the truth, give the body of Christ an actual voice all around the world where everybody can hear it. That's what we're trying to do. With that, I guess we'll go ahead and get on out of here, Shannon. And thank you to Super Dave, Super Mike, and all y'all guys that are dependable here. Thank you, Daryl, for being here again. And Anonymous Legion, you are becoming a legend in the house. What's happening, Rebecca? I see you there, and Lance Ripa. I thank all y'all guys for being here today. And we're going to go ahead and get out of here for today, and then we'll see you back again Monday, if not sooner. You never know. We love you, and our Father in heaven loves you. And thank you, Roxy and Shannon, for being on the show today. And thank you to Miss Kim. She's always here in the background helping me out, too. Thank y'all, guys.
You got it. Love you guys.
Bye-bye for now. Okay. You still there, Shannon?
Yep.
Okay, got an echo now all of a sudden.
Oh, that's weird.
Okay. Okay, got it now. I caused myself to have an echo. Oh,
It's okay.
that's pretty cool. I just, for the first
What's
time,
up?
did a live on Patreon because they recently changed their site so you can do lives on Patreon. And my
Nice.
first live show on Patreon, and I had 18 18 viewers on Patreon, my first live. And
Hey.
average view time is about 20 minutes. That's pretty good, really, for the first
Sweet.
one. And I even got a message from somebody. Huh.
I figured out what it was with the supernatural show thing. The lives they're just not going live on the channel,
And why is that?
but they're being posted up as videos.
But they
I
should be
don't know.
live while I be live.
I have no clue. It's just
But
not
then,
picking up on the actual lives, but it's then added on as a video like it was pre-recorded.
huh. Let me look at it real quick.
Okay.
Just a moment.